Have you ever felt like you built the life you were supposed to build, but somehow you don't feel inside it anymore? Nothing is falling apart. You're responsible, stable, respected. So why does it feel heavy? Why does it feel like you're carrying something you can't even name? There is a kind of tired that sleep does not fix. Not burnout, not failure. Something quieter. It shows up in your late 30s, sometimes early 40s, when the noise outside doesn't match the silence inside. You handle pressure well now. People rely on you. At work, at home. You know how to stay composed, how to deliver, how to solve problems without drama. Somewhere along the way, you became dependable, efficient, strong, and maybe a little less alive. I remember a night sitting in my car after work, engine off, phone face down, and for a moment, I didn't want to go inside. Nothing was wrong, but I felt like I was moving from one role to another without ever being just myself. Professional outside, reliable at home, calm everywhere, but inside, uncertain. They say Adam and Eve were exiled once, cast out of Eden, but I think most of us experience a second exile. The first exile happens when we grow up, when innocence fades, and we learn that the world measures us. Grades, income, promotions, titles. We adapt, we compete, we improve, we survive, and we leave the first Eden behind. But the second exile, it happens after success, after stability, after proving yourself. It comes quietly, when you realize you have built a life that works, but you're not sure it breathes. In your 20s, ambition feels clean. You chase because you are becoming. In your 30s and 40s, ambition becomes layered. Is this growth or fear of slowing down? Is this purpose or fear of becoming irrelevant? Is this passion or addiction to achievement? The world calls it a midlife crisis, but it doesn't feel dramatic. It feels subtle, like standing inside a house you built and suddenly wondering why it feels unfamiliar. You did everything right. You followed the map. You sacrificed. You stayed disciplined. And yet, there are nights when the silence feels louder than your accomplishments. Nothing is collapsing. Your career may be strong. Your family may be stable. Your finances may be secure. And still, something inside whispers, "Is this all I am now?" The modern world rewards speed. Speed builds companies. Speed builds reputations. But depth is quiet. Depth reconnects you to yourself. At this stage of life, clarity begins to feel more valuable than applause. You don't need to quit. You don't need to escape. You don't need to tear everything down. Maybe you just need to notice. Notice how often you say yes when your body says no. Notice how often you chase because stopping feels unsafe. Notice how often your worth is tied to your output. The second exile is not punishment. It is awareness. It gently removes the illusion that achievement will complete you. And that realization can make you restless or awake. Maybe this is not a breakdown. Maybe it is initiation, not into more success, but into deeper honesty. You built enough to survive. Now something in you is asking to breathe. Not less ambitious, just more conscious. Not less responsible, just more real. Maybe Adam and Eve were not punished. Maybe they were initiated into awareness. And maybe this quiet heaviness in your life is not failure. It is the moment you begin to see clearly. The second exile, not away from the world, but away from illusion. And perhaps, for the first time in years, you are not lost. You are waking up.